Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do begin, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Now, Deku, he showed everyone exactly why he is the boss of the Yagi family. If not, the most dangerous man in Japan. The other bosses came to meet Deku. However, they found him lounging in the room with a beautiful woman on his lap. She covered his face in lipstick, and Deku, he completely disregarded proper etiquette. He didn't stand up to bow, he didn't introduce himself, he just told them all to sit down so they can get the meeting started. Miss Sukauchi, she was there as someone who can verify the truth of somebody's words. She works for UA, not for the Yagi family, not for Deku. Her job is to tell the truth. And she told the truth about everything Deku said in that room, about everything Dr. Ujiko said in that room. Deku is unaugmented. His power is his own power. It isn't connected to anything involving Dr. Ujiko. He has not been enhanced. He has not bought a quirk. And that realization, it put a pit in some people's stomachs. Deku was able to kill Endeavor, a man who has spent years becoming augmented, who he has spent billions becoming as powerful as he is. And Deku, at the age of 17, without any augmentations, managed to kill him, proving he is stronger than All Might. People often thought that if Endeavor and All Might came to blows, fact of the matter is, All Might does have massive amounts of power in reserve. Though with him being weakened over the years, he might lose to Endeavor. Endeavor may come out on top. But Deku threw Endeavor around for 5 minutes like a chew toy. He was beaten, bloody, and he was nearly killed during his fight. But he killed Endeavor. Fact of the matter was, if he wasn't playing around, he could have ended that fight immediately. And they are all aware of that. Deku knows that. He doesn't want to be a problem because he doesn't want to be. If he wanted to, he can get them to surrender. He even joked about that. Then told them all he was just busting their balls in order to see their reactions. If they ever harm people he does care about, if they ever go after people he cares about, if they hurt or, God forbid, kill his daughter, he will hunt all of them down, personally killing each of them, starting with an attack on cities in their territories, a week after something happens. Now, that was only for what happens if someone harms his daughter. What happens if someone kills his daughter is he will make them fear the sky. Now, with that being said, Dr. Ujiko, he talked about One for All, mentioning that it was a stockpiled power. Deku was alarmed, bringing up All for One, and learning that Kudo does remember how he died. That wasn't the first time Kudo ever mentioned it either, but this time, he does have a proper chance to think about it more, realizing All might have lied to him about how he knows how he died. Now, Dr. Ujiko left the room, though he did leave behind a card detailing that he does want to have a private meeting. The Boogeyman. The stories and myths of legend turned out to be about a man history chose to erase. And that does mean quite a bit. Over 200 years ago, the world was normal. They didn't have bosses, they didn't have the society they have now. But something happened, something that was forgotten. And then there was Banjo, who started the Yagi family. That's really the best point history does truly begin for them. Something happened in between 200 years ago and 100 years ago that no one has documented. The only people who seem to be aware of that time were Deku and Dr. Ujiko. And people have tons of questions after what this conversation was about. Now then, with that being said, we do have nearly a week later. Deku, whenever he left the restaurant, he tried to get answers from All Might. First of all, what? Second, the fuck? Third, has he not told him? He knows how he died, doesn't he? He knows something about it. Fact of the matter is, he is hiding it. And if that's all, then it's going to be a very big problem. The people who came after him are going to come after Deku now. It's a pretty big red flag. I mean, Jesus Christ. These people are attempting to take out the Yagi family. That is a very big fucking deal. You'd think he'd want to give him some goddamn answers. You'd think he'd want to give Deku a goddamn heads up. You know, he can dodge lasers, dodge bullets, all that other shit. But there will be that one time. All it takes is one time for it to happen. And he's off the board. Then what next? That was along the lines of the rant Deku gave to All Might. And All Might, yeah. He didn't give much response to Deku. It's been almost a week. He's talked with the other users, and they've mentioned that Toshinori, he isn't talking. He's just sitting there, quietly in a chair and aggravated, annoyed, unresponsive. They know he's still alive. Banjo has tried attacking him, and the man does retaliate with a response. Deku's even talked to Nana. She's tried provoking him, talking about a few things of the past to see his reaction. She hasn't broached too many personal subjects, but she has told Deku about All Might's eccentric taste. Fact of the matter is, Deku himself has a pretty small harem. All Might himself had one before. And Deku is annoyed to learn this is not an uncommon thing. Now, we do currently have him lying in bed this morning. And he does get to open his eyes. But he's not in his bed. He does get to find himself sitting in the vestige world, climbing to his feet and looking down at his hands, flexing them, looking down to see his legs. Most of his body is here. That's good. Though, some parts of him are still covered in this weird smoke. Hello? You're here. All Might. Mind explaining this? Him turning, pointing at something. And Deku does get to see it. Right now, All Might does sit in a room. A lot of people he doesn't recognize. Them talking, laughing, conversing. A woman sitting on his lap. And he's happy. All Might looks happy. These people mean something to him. All of them. They don't look familiar to the top 10 he does recognize, but they're in a building. The agency? Maybe. But All Might also looks younger. A lot younger. Nana is in the room. This is whenever she was still alive. And everything does it a break before it does it a fade away. And All Might does a stagger back. Right now, him clutching at the massive wound on his side. The sound of a bullet flying through the air does catch Deku's attention. All Might, he does a turn. Rhino going to run off as blood does leak onto the floor. And he does a leap. Rhino him flying quickly into the distance. And Deku, he does a look around. Things do begin to rewind. And then they're back on that building. All Might talking about it. He's been trying to piece everything together. It isn't easy to do. But he's found, with great effort, everything going to freeze. This moment right here, it tells him everything he does need to know. Deku approaching, looking at All Might. The massive wound in his side that killed him before he ran off. Turning to the man who does get to stand there. How? Who the hell is this guy? No idea. That mask of his, it's something I've never seen before. Along with that, his outfit. Support tech. It looks like it. But why'd you freeze here? Him turning and pointing to the bullet that flew behind him. Talking about it. That. It is a cork bullet. He only knows one person capable of making those. Deku turning and looking at it. Walking over, and it's not a normal bullet. Not metal. It's a blur, but there's colors. These things flew fast. Pink and purple? I don't get it. So someone with a gun cork did this to you? No. I was ambushed. I don't know how or why. But they found me in Kodo. All of a sudden, I was in a dream. 1 second I was there, the next I wasn't. After my pain, I ran. Then, a few minutes later, I met you. The wound was pretty bad. It looked bad. But I don't get it. So you died from an ambush. You don't know who that guy was. The bullet. Do you at least know something about that? You pointed it out. I do. Lady Nagant is a very powerful sniper. I imagine that that's her bullet. The Yagi family, they've hired her for jobs before. In fact, I had her take down a very dangerous man in the past. I see. You never mentioned her because she's a freelancer. Along with that, she doesn't often take jobs from us anymore. She likes to be solo. Is that so? Yes, young man. She isn't a Yagi, but she does play the game and she has won some very, very powerful prizes. I'd say whoever hired her are the people who attempted to kill me. Though I don't know why they hired her to try and attack me. No one claimed my bounty, did they? As far as I know, no one's been able to prove that they've killed you. Would have been a very public event. Hard to hide that type of information. I see. Well then, she is your first and only lead at the moment. Is she dangerous? Very. Even I feared sometimes that she could have taken my head off given the right chance. Very clearly, I wasn't the only one who thought so. But she missed. She did, didn't she? Why take a shot at you then? To fulfill the contract? Him shrugging. I don't know. I'm telling you what I know. Right now, that's her bullet. It's your only lead. This guy, though, he's your other lead. But I can't give you much information about him. I don't know him. Deku nodding, staring at the man. Something's off about all this. All Might was in his empowered state, but he still managed to be heavily injured? No, lethally injured. So, how? Something's fishy about all this. Right. I'll have to figure that out more later. Deku going to begin to open his eyes and finding himself in his bed properly. It does take his mind a second to catch up to everything, all that information. And he does gonna slowly begin to sit up, an arm sliding off of his chest as Deku he does a turn. And Fuyumi, she does begin to wake up. Right now, her going to let out a small groan of annoyance before she does it to tell him, "It's too early. Go back to bed." "It's fine. Just go back to bed yourself. I've got to deal with a few things." "What time is it?" "It's early." "Yeah, it's early. Go back to sleep." Him going to slide out of bed and go to walk out of the room. Right now, he's in his family compound, in a hidden location inside Yagi territory. No one should know this location. Only Yue does. And Deku, when he does a walk out of his room, he does go to sit down, right now overlooking the center courtyard. And just thinking about a bit, the sun's beginning to rise. All Might knows how he died. The people after him may come after him. No, the people who killed him might come after him. That's not good. But how could they get that close to All Might without him knowing? So someone trapped him in some sort of mental effect? They brainwashed him. They used a mental ability on him, at the very least. It distracted him, and someone managed to attack a full strength All Might and wound him severely. That's a whole other thing. Right. That is going to be problematic. What can he do to deal with that? He doesn't have any mental defenses. Does he? No. He's probably going to need to put something in his suit. If he does ever get injured or. No, not injured. Brainwashed, he needs a way to break out of it. Maybe a pain response? A taser in his suit? Yeah. That sounds a little uncomfortable. A spike. Ugh, that sounds even more uncomfortable. Have his suit stab him if he stops? Or. God, how would you even program that? Maybe you should ask someone about that. If it is some sort of mental effect, he needs to know how to break out of those. Consult Nezu. Maybe get a. No, not a belt. Jesus Christ. That is way too close to the waistline for him. Even then, he doesn't want that thing to stab him. Especially if it's going to actually be something that might need to pierce his body. Maybe something in the arm? He just got the left arm. And he doesn't want to try and replace any other limbs. Okay. Maybe figure that out. Maybe run a small electric current through his suit? No. If it's something that's got to do with quirks, then. Actually, Black Whip he does use to support his arms, his body. If he does get something similar put in, like the spike in his arms, if he's ever brainwashed, wouldn't his quirks turn off? He'll have to ask someone about that. He thinks that they do, though All Might turned off one for all. His body wasn't empowered, was it? Ah, God. Too many damn questions. Good morning. Oh, hey, Cynthia. You look quite troubled. Are we out of coffee? No. I'm just up a little early. I have a lot on my mind. I see. Anything I can do to help? No, I think I'll be fine. Just thoughts about my dad. That's really it. I understand. I will have breakfast made shortly. It may take some time. You are up earlier than usual, however. I may be able to whip up something quick. We do still have quite a few guests. Congratulations, by the way. It's alright, it's alright. It's not my kid. It's Natsuo's and Burnen's. I see. That's good. That's good. I will be going now. Do you need anything, Mr. Midoriya? It's Izuku. And no. I'm fine. Just don't overwork yourself. Understood. Her walking away. And Deku, he does want to see her smile. She's gotten better since last year. He's taken her collar off. But she does still wish to serve his family. Yeah. She's a free woman. But she does feel safe here. It's interesting. Though he does plan to keep her safe. She's family. Now more than ever. Especially after what she went through. Deku does get to head to his office. And he does think. Right now, Kami's still asleep. The baby's still asleep. He hasn't heard Yuki cry. Toru's still asleep. And from the sounds of it, Natsuo and Burnin are still asleep. Rei isn't up yet, but she did choose a room on the far side of the compound. Right. She does know that the walls are soundproof, right? God. They can take bullets and missiles. You'd think that they'd be privacy inducing. That on his mind. Him going to close the door to his office and lock it. Making his way over to his desk and going to press the button on the other side. The second door does go to lock. And Deku, he does set down his phone. Before he does go into the computer and go to UA's website. Looking into potential mercenaries he can hire through them. And he doesn't find Lady Nagant. He does look into the mercenary network, try and find her. An independent contractor, someone who should be here. He does find records of her, and even some information. Though he has been told she is retired. And that, it's quite unfortunate. They do have her data here. She's still alive. She's been a mercenary for a long time. She's completed well over several hundred missions. She's killed over 1,000 people. And she has only failed to kill a handful of clients. Every job she's ever undertaken has been completed. Though she retired. She didn't die. She retired. That is an impressive record. Mercenaries, they try to be warlords, independent, or they try to make a name for themselves with connections to the families. A way to protect themselves. A way to have a layer of defense. If you're valued, you are awarded certain privileges. That Deku, he does start to understand. He was awarded certain privileges whenever he was still in the low ranks. Right now, though, they're talking about offering these privileges to people outside the family because they are valuable. They want to have good connections with these mercenaries. And that Deku, he is interested in. This woman is an enigma. Right now, him staring at the screen. Lady Nagant. The woman who was there when All Might was killed. She was hired for the job. She knows something. That's the most annoying part. How does he deal with this? Nezu. He needs to talk to Nezu. No. Set up a meeting with her. See if she's be willing to talk, chat, negotiate, whatever. If she's even still in Japan. But how would he even go about that? No one ever claimed the bounty money on All Might's head. And if she's still around, then she's waiting for a cut of the profit? Maybe. But that does mean someone actually attempted to kill All Might. Not just some sort of random, it just happened thing, but having one of the best snipers in Japan, if not the best sniper, that's a job that takes a lot of convincing. Or does it? If she was brainwashed, then she might know something. Right. Him making a phone call. And currently, he is sent over to voicemail. Him expressing to Nezu. Right now, he needs the man to call him back when he does have a moment. Right now, he needs to set up a meeting with a possible asset of his. He'd be willing to pay to make the meeting happen. And he does want this person to be aware. He would just like to ask them a few questions about a topic. He wants to set up a meeting with the retired Lady Nagant to talk with her and see if she'd be willing to do one last job. He'd be willing to pay handsomely. And Nezu, he does call Deku back shortly later. Deku does sit down for breakfast and currently sip a cup of espresso. Him feeling his phone buzz in his pocket, and he does get to get the message. Pulling it out as Nezu does inform him about a few different things. And Burnin, she does go to sit there. Right now, Natsuo looking at the expression on Deku's face and asking if he's alright. He looks a little, sipping his coffee, making a face and turning, asking if this is the decaf. And Burnin does go to, annoyingly, switch cups with him, talking about it. It better not be the decaf. That one was good. Her taking a sip. Natsuo taking a sip of his own coffee and finding that it was indeed the wrong cup. Talking about it. Maybe she shouldn't do that. It should still be fine, though she will have to watch that in the future. A sip won't hurt. Though she does need to be careful. That is her grandchild. Ray giving a smile. And Fuyumi, she does go to make a joke. Deku not listening as he stood up and walked out of the room, calling Nezu. And right now, he does close the door behind him and walk into the courtyard, expressing, Mr. Midoriya, this is quite an unexpected request. Can you do it? I should be able to. I do have a file and contact information for a number of individuals. But considering the fact that this woman is considered to be retired, that may be a little bit more hard. Fact is, she may have changed her number or may not have wanted to get into contact with anyone. Send me her information. I'll call her myself. Mr. Midoriya, we don't typically handle these affairs. We don't typically allow you to contact them personally unless you've already hired them. I don't believe this has to do with my father. Excuse me? I have reason to believe that Lady Nagant was involved in the assassination attempt on my father, Toshinori Yagi. I wish to question her. I've recently come into information that she was there, and I have found a potential lead on the people involved. I see. You're trying to track down your father's killers. Yes. I'm doing so as a precaution. It's come to light that I've had a lot of attempts on my life. Right now, this information came to me, and I would like to do something about it before they discover I may be onto them. And if Lady Nagant is hired again, I would rather not like to deal with that. I understand. This is an odd situation. But these people killed my father. If they come after me, they may harm my daughter. I need to clear this up before anything happens. Any unforeseen events. You understand my precaution? Yes. I understand, Mr. Midoriya. This is going to break a little bit of protocol, but you are a valued customer. And if it does avoid hassles in the future, I can put someone in the case and give you her information that we have on file. I cannot promise anything, but we will send someone to investigate her. Thank you, Mr. Nezu. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Midoriya. And whatever information we are able to turn up about her, hopefully things don't get too bad. I would hate to lose your patronage. I'm happy to have worked with you, Mr. Nezu. Though, I do need to reach out to the Masquerade as well. Before I do anything, I see. The Mercenary Network as well? She may have contacts to alert her. And you're saying I wouldn't? You're a neutral party who just found out this may be something to do with blood. And I'm involved. I imagine keeping this quiet would be the best thing, not to cause a stir. You are correct. Though UA is not involved, so it is none of my concern. I see. Anyways, him hanging up. And Nezu, he does go to Sandaku the number and go to look into Miss Kana, as well as describe some information to someone who they are kind of surprised to hear about their job. Izuku Midoriya just hired them to look for someone. So yeah, no pressure, but this guy is trying to find someone, and he's the guy to do it. Yeah, they better hope that this turns out well. And there is Deku. Deku does what they call the Masquerade. And whenever someone they do to pick up on the other end, they do express, "Hello, is there something that they can do for him this morning?" They weren't expecting a call from him. This is Ayama, correct? Yes. What can I do for you, Mr. Midoriya? Is there something that you're interested in? Or have you finally received our invitation? Invitation? I see you may not have. I believe that we have sent it to you. It should have arrived. The family may have apprehended it. If it's at my house, then I'm not currently there. I'm in another private residence. I see. Well, the Masquerade has invited you to take place in our events. And if there is concern about you being a public face or being seen, masks are involved. There is also a fight club. You, I understand, had problems and reservations about being one of our contenders. However, this is a bit more of a high-profile stakes event. The people are voluntary, or you could even become a participant. You can bet on a champion and place them against another person. This is a high profile stakes event. We also do have various auctions if you are interested in them. Slave auctions? No, Mr. Midoriya. Quite intricate things. Eccentric things. Not slaves. We do provide that service, but typically we are quite adamant about what we do provide. We have different clientele for different parts of Japan. Our work with the Yagis, we typically try and fall into their framework. Can you look into information about a woman by the name of Lady Nagant, aka the Indigo Sniper? I see. That is quite the name. It is. I'm looking for her. I heard she retired, and she's still alive. I'm looking into this matter because it might have something to do with blood. I see. May I ask the details? My father. I see. And I only wish to chat with her. I believe she may have been coerced into the attack on my father. Information is scarce, but right now I want to know more. If I can find her, I'd be willing to pay for that information. If you're able to set up a meeting with her, I might even be willing to publicly attend one of your events. That is in very gracious offer, Mr. Midoriya, but the events are anonymous. No one could know that you are in attendance. I see. Then I will pay quite handsomely for this information. Please find the Indigo Sniper. And let me know what has turned up. Of course. And if you would be willing to come to the arena, that may give us more public credibility, being acknowledged by you after what we have so done to you in the past. It would show that you don't hold a grudge against us. Find her, and we'll see. Of course, Mr. Midoriya, of course. I will get my best people on this. Deku hanging up. And Aoyama does get to let out an immediate breath. Him turning, jumping up, and running out of the room. Mr. Midoriya just called him. Him, of all fucking people. Okay. Right. Him going to tell his father about this. The man was quite annoyed that he interrupted him in his study. Though when he did get to hear about the situation, and Izuku Midoriya is looking into a matter of blood, yeah. Right now, he did go to turn and throw the scotch into the fire, immediately running over to his desk and beginning to make phone calls and coordinate with the higher-ups of the masquerade. This might be all hands on deck. And they need to find a woman, one involved in a personal matter with the horseman. Deku, he does go to sit down in the courtyard, not expecting anything from this. He does recall the number Nezu did provide him, and he does get a turn, looking at the pond that was installed. His phone does get a ring, and ring, and ring, and ring, and hello? Is this Miss Kana? Who is this? How did you get this number? This is a private line. You shouldn't have this number. I'd like to set up a meeting with you, Miss Kana. You didn't answer me. Who is this? I'm retired, you know. People shouldn't be handing out my number willy-nilly. I don't work anymore. My name is Izuku Midoriya. Bullshit. Doubt me all you want, but don't hang up. I want to talk to you about a matter of great importance. What do you want? I'm fairly certain you understand my reason for calling. What? Miss Kana, if I have to drag this out of you, this is going to be a lot harder. You were involved in the attempt that got my father killed. The assassination attempt. Or should I say the actual assassination? Right now, my father's dead. You're retired. And you're still alive. You're a lead. One I'm hoping to get answers out of. I don't know shit. You'll understand if I find that hard to believe. I don't. I was offered the job, and it didn't go well. I refused after I learned who the target was. And I was coerced. You'll understand that I would like to verify that information in person. I won't just take your word for it. I want to know that you're telling me the truth. We'll meet at UA. Fine. But what? No, I didn't hit your father. I believe you. Evidence has come into my possession that shows that you were at the scene. You were hired, then you retired shortly afterward. I know that much. What I'm confused about is why you retired. Were you paid? Or are you waiting on those people to finally turn in his bounty? They must have taken some sort of evidence from his body. Deku lying about that. I want to know all the details. And if I think that you're lying to me, I may kill you. But if you're not, perhaps I can offer you family protection. I don't think that would work, kid. Why not? Because these people were from the Yagi family. That much I know. From the Yagi family? My own people. That can't be right. That man clearly wasn't one of ours. That doesn't prove anything so far. If what you're saying is true, then yes, I would like to see more about this. If it's not, though, we may need to discuss matters further. Do you understand? Yes. We can meet today. I'll head over to UA. It should take me an hour or two. Good. I will get ready myself when the time does arrive. Deku hang up on her. And Kana, she does get a hang up herself and go to turn, chucking the phone onto the counter. Lovely. Walking over to the couch and sitting down. Head in her hands. Lovely. The fucking horseman found her. God damn it. That monster of a little shit. I mean, god damn it. Why? Now of all times, why him? She had left nothing at the scene, isn't that right? No, there was no witnesses. She took out everyone who could have seen her fire the shot. But those people, they still played her. That she does know. This on her mind, and she does get ready to leave. And there is Deku. Deku, he does go to get back to his feet. And he does somewhat sigh. Getting to UA is going to be something. Right now, though, he does need to get things prepared and ready to leave. He has a lead. But All Might does start talking. Deku making his way into his office and disrobing. Right now, he does have a lot going through his mind. He does go to have an old battlesuit on display. Before he does get a turn. Right now, him grabbing the wristbands from the mount. And he does go to grab a belt. Before he does get a turn. Right now, him grabbing the undersuit that he needs to wear. When he does go to slip the suit on, he does go to put on the bands, putting on the belt, and then going to press. Right now, the battlesuit, it does begin to climb his body, climbing his wrist, and spreading down his torso. Right now, it does form the white kimono. And the wristbands, they do start to form the black outer shirt. The black outer robe. And Izuku, he does go to turn. Right now, him making his way over to the door as he does to pull it open. Stepping out and seeing Fumi sitting there. Right now, he does get a stare. Right. What is it? You're leaving? Yeah. It's important. I know. But what is it? You seemed a little agitated. I found something about my dad. I think I know who might have killed him. Wow. Yeah. It's a little heavy. I wasn't trying to bring you in on it. It's fine. Her stepping forward and wrapping him in a hug. Talking about it. They should have a bit of a small chat, though. I mean, Natsuo and Burnin, they're going to be parents. I know. Listen, is that what this is about? Maybe. I don't know. It's unusual. I mean, what do you think? I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, me and Kami didn't mean to have Yuki, but another kid? My first. Her going to cross her arms, giving Deku a small pout. I understand. Listen, we'll handle the situation later, okay? Right now, him going to bring his hands up and giving both of her arms a squeeze. They can handle that. I mean, sure, why not? He's always wanted a big family. Right now, though, isn't the right time to talk about this. This is a big family matter itself. But how about they make a bit of a plan? Her nodding her head. Right now, pulling Deku back into a hug, and he does get to hug her back. Talking about it. He might have a name if it's a boy. Really? Hasashi. Where did that one come from? It's just a good name. I like it. I think that it has character. Fine. If it's a boy, we'll name it Hasashi. But her going to put a finger to Deku's nose. If it's a girl, then she's naming it. How about that? That's alright. Hey, what if you have twins? Oh, hell no. I don't know if I'd want twins. I mean, well, you do have mates. But technically, I'm your second, third wife? Mirako, I'd say second. Mirako comes and goes every now and again. But, I mean, me and her haven't really seen each other a lot lately. She's a little busy with some fighting stuff. I'm not really too sure the next time she'll actually come around. Fair, fair. Good. As long as we got that all sorted out. Her stepping back. And Deku, he does go to walk outside. Him floating up into the air and going to send an airburst behind him. Beginning to fly away, leaving the compound in the distance. And he does it a wait. Right now, he'll take things a little slow. Just cruise through the air. Afterwards, he's got to figure this out. Though, that does then mean quite a bit. Bring in the heads of the other families. Ah, lovely. Talk to the people who he makes run those cities. That would mean quite a bit. The biggest choice might actually be the person in charge of Kodo. Then again, if it is someone's domain, he's going to need to figure out whose it is. That would be the most likely outcome. The guy who ruled over that city whenever All Might was there, he might be in on the conspiracy. Then again, it's a border city. It might not have someone in charge, a family running it. Okay, but that has been quite a bit then. The Yagi territories spanned over 50% of Japan. That is a large list of people to try and sort through. Using UA or the Masquerade as a neutral party, hiring Miss Sugauchi along with people there? Yeah. Going through every one of those people to try and find out who killed All Might, who might be involved in it, that would be a lot. If he does try and seriously call all of them to order, that could look odd, strange in different ways. Then again, maybe he should make some phone calls. Him stopping in the air. And he does try to call the guys. Try to ask them how quickly they can get to UA. Now, when they do try to ask about if this is something important, Deku does mention it might have something to do with blood. And this does catch their interest. They ask if everyone's okay. Deku tells them that they are, though he may have found some leads on who might be involved in his father's murder. And that immediately sets everyone a little off. What? I mean, is he sure? If that's the case, then what is he doing right now? I'm heading there. I'm talking to someone who might have been involved. They know it's not a good idea to try and run. We can't get there in time. That being some of the responses Deku does get. Bakugo does talk about trying to get there himself, though he's uncertain. And Deku does decide to just let them be. He does let them know to be on standby. And to coordinate with Sir Night-Eye. Tell him this information and then tell him not to fucking call him. He'll reach out when he knows more information. And Bakugo, he does it a grin, knowing he's going to use those exact words. Then again, he is quite curious as to what's going to go down. And we do have over at UA. Deku, he does go to arrive. Right now he does have a white nano hood pulled over his head, and people do to see a kimono. He walked in. No grand ceremony, but people turned to look at the man. Of everyone on neutral ground wearing battlesuits, his is odd. It's not a regular suit. It's not in the freelancer style. It doesn't look very defensible. But then the man does erase his head. A scar on the right cheek, green and black hair, and those cold emerald eyes. People, they do to flinch. Whenever he was walking down the road after turning a corner, he saw two people walking his way. One immediately turned and froze. The other turned, saw him, and immediately was pulled to the side, nearly falling over from their friend. Right now allowing him to walk down the pathway. And someone eventually came running over to Deku. Right now, them expressing that they will lead him along. And he does it a nod at them. Being brought to meet Miss Kana at a restaurant. And he does a step into the tea house before he's brought to the room and sat down. Miss Tsukauchi is already here. And Deku, he does a turn seeing her. Her quickly bowing and expressing. She was told that this was on short notice. She is aware that this is a situation of blood, but she does need to address that your fee will be paid. Him waving a hand. Miss Tsukauchi, I will pay you what you do need. Did we interrupt anything with this impromptu meeting? Not exactly, no. My schedule was busy, but other than that, I was free. Good. Have a seat at the table. Her still standing there. And Deku, he does it'll wave it off the next second. Never mind then. You're a lot different from what I was expecting. Deku pulling back the hood. It going to fade down into his suit. Right now, a metal clasp be the only thing sitting on the back of his neck, indicating that he can pull it up and over. I get that a lot. Now, you know something about my father's death? Miss Tsukauchi? Her walking over. Right now, sitting down on one knee and going to her falling to one knee and holding out her hand. As she does go to grab Nagant, and she does go to nod at Deku. And Deku does express. Tell him every information piece she can about what she does know. If any of it is a lie, then his trust in her is going to fall. Tell him everything. The meeting took place in Osaka. I was brought in, and I met someone in Yagi territory. I was told nothing. I wasn't given names. I was just told aliases, fake names. The man, I'm not sure if it was a mask or what, or some sort of hood, but they were made blatantly obvious. All of them that were there. They had Yagi insignias, your rings. Fact of the matter is, they wanted to hire me to assassinate someone in Kobe. But I was apprehensive of it. Sure, I'll take people out in different family territories. But a border city? That's rife with conflict. I was already on the fence about something else. Fact of the matter is, though, they told me the target. And I said no. They mentioned they can make the offer worth my while. Then I was out. The next real thing I can remember is the recoil of my rifle and All Might standing in front of me, injured. He was on the run, and my shot, I don't remember where I fired. If I'm right, my aim would have taken his head off. But whatever strike hit him, I think it messed up my shot. I don't miss a target. Not from that type of range. I hit clean and clear. Though this guy, he wanted people to know All Might died pained, injured. To me, it seemed like a personal hit. Did it now? Yes, it did. I don't know exactly who the fuck he pissed off, but very clearly he did. The guy was quite happy, and from what I understand, he had multiple abilities. Just like you. She's telling the truth. Her pulse hasn't changed. Neither has her heart rate. It is already a little high, but you can understand the situation. Does that mess with it any? No, it doesn't. Good. Continue. That's it. I told them to pay me. They mentioned I should just join them. I told them no. And, well, I found myself in a situation. I woke up somewhere else. That was it. They left me the information to the bank account, and that was all. They left you alive. They did. I think I'm supposed to be the scapegoat. The way everything's all set up. You ever see your pop's body? I did. Hole in his gut. Yeah. From my understanding, he bled out. Then again, I didn't really pay attention to it. Another failed attempt on the big boss. But then I hear a year later, he's dead. That's all I got. They paid me, and I thought I fucked up. I didn't touch the money. Still haven't. Her setting something down and sliding it forward. Deku reaching out and taking it. Information. Lovely. Deku setting it back down, sliding it over with a finger, and informing her. He can put her into family protection. Right now, she's the only real lead he has on his father's killer. You're a little too young for my taste. What? That's a lie. The gaunt turning, pulling her hand away and expressing. Listen. She's heard about his little harem. She's not joining it. She's not some little damsel who needs protection. And she's not going to try and suck up in order to have a better lot in life. She built herself up from the ground. She had a pretty good damn start, and she found something she was good at. If he does want something, then hell. She can go ahead and point him in another direction. Or she can go ahead and tell him one little thing. Fuck off, or stick it in a beehive. Lady, you're a little too old for my taste. Fact of the matter is, I just want to find out who murdered my father. You might know something, and I'm making you an offer to stay safe. You really think after this meeting they're going to let you just walk away next time? You're screwed. You're retired. How long is that money going to last you before you have to dive into this? Even then, are you waiting for the payday on my dad? People finally reveal they're the ones that took him out with your help? The Yagi family would come after you. Cleaning up that misunderstanding now is probably the best way to stop you from getting killed. I'd be willing to bring you in. Not as some little damsel I will protect, or arm candy as you call it. As a soldier. Someone who's got a good enough reputation. I'm sure my pops has asked you to join before. Your pops has tried to get in my pants before. Her folding her arms. Not surprised. I heard he was a slut. Her finally going to somewhat laugh. Talking about it. Something that is clearly a family trait. And he does declare at her. Her glaring right back. I get it. You come from nothing. My dad thought hiding me away on the street would be the best thing. It wasn't. I got pulled into this shit after he died. Right now, know this. I understand. Him extending a hand, talking about it. They can bring her in and she can get revenge on those fucks who did this. Hell, she can personally shoot them dead or hand them over to Midnight, who he's fairly certain would love to shove a stiletto in whatever wound she makes. Then again, she'd probably be willing to shove something somewhere else, if she did ask. And she does get a smile, well aware of that crazy bitch's reputation. Standing up and going to extend a hand, talking about it. Perhaps they can work together then. Though if this does backfire, if he does use her for bait, then she is going to take a shot at him. And then she'll be off. That's fair. That's fair. Her nodding, him telling her, Tokyo, arrive there at the family headquarters. He'll inform Tsunade what to do with her. Good. Do I have your word I'm not walking into a trap? You have my word. If you want, I'll even write up a contract with you, through whatever third party you want. You're only going to work with the Yagi family until whatever conditions you want are met. Afterwards, you're free. How's that? That's pretty good. Though I'll think of the terms. Not all bad. You're smarter than your father. I try to be. Though I do make my own dumb decisions. I still owe two lovely women a date. Her glaring back at Deku. And right now she does a turn, walking out of the restaurant. And Deku does turn and express to Miss Sukauchi he'll have the money transferred over to her after he does leave. She understands that this is complicated. Her nodding without saying a single word. And Deku does walk out of the restaurant next. Right now, him calmly making his way up into the air as he has a leap off. Right now, him making his way up high before he does turn and fly in a direction. Only after a second does he send a shockwave out indicating that he's left the city, and start flying back to his compound. Though he does feel his paranoia flare, it would probably be best to take a little bit of a detour. Right now, just no. Open the throttle and move fast. Go in a different direction, or even go up higher. Yeah. He's probably not going to be home for a little bit of time. And this actually is a good chance to stretch his legs. Open up the throttle and see how much of one roll he can actually use. Deku charging up to 60. And he does go to blare off with a massive shockwave. Right now, him charging Fajin and going up to 70. And when he does go up to 70 and go to release that charge, he does go to do something very, very simple. He's not hauling anything except ass through the sky. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I will catch you guys in the next part.